10 years ago today, on a random May morning while his parents were away at work, a random teen, bored, still in high school, inspired by Let's Players of the time like Jugga Conroy, Masayanella, Steven George, and Nintendo Capri Sun, decided to stick an MP4 player that had video recording capabilities at a television and play one of his favorite games of all time. One decade later, not much has changed, and yet everything has. This is the story of a random person of the internet who once went by the title of Pokemon Lord, trying to find himself. This is the journey of Orpheolus. I guess before starting on a retrospective on the past projects, best to start at the very beginning. No, not that beginning! I was originally joining YouTube in October 2011, around the time Minecraft really started to take off, and I really was on hopping from channel to channel, no real focus, and I didn't use it all that often. Around this time, I settled on my username Pokemon Lord Orpheolus. As to why, well, Orpheolus was the main antagonist to a fake Pokemon game I had in my mind. Something about taking over the world by taking control of the Pokemon League. It has been a long time, okay? I was a young lad. I had a little quick Microsoft Paint put together, nothing too great. I was an artistic kid growing up. Still not now. For the most part, my channel and Twitter lay dormant until 2013. Around that time, Let's Plays were king, and there were a few Let's Players I was watching at the time. The biggest inspiration at the time was Jugga Conroy, and the others soon afterwards. I originally found Jugga Conroy when a friend in high school showed me that incident. Eventually in the springtime, while listening to my MP3 player, I found that it had a generic video capturing option. It wasn't great, but it was a start that I needed. With my generic camcorder set, and a game picked out, it was time to start recording. And that was actually in February 2013 with Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Just tried it out, however though the videos got corrupted because of a bad thing on my MP4 player, recorded the intro, and that was before things got lost. I think I had up to the first dungeon recorded before saying heck with it. Went studying for a couple of months, it was spring, and I like to do my track, so that came first. But then on May 10th, 2013, I tried recording a Let's Play again. This time it was Twilight Princess, mostly because A, I love Twilight Princess, and B, it had multiple save options. So, the time was nigh, time to get started on a legend. And, after 78 episodes, my first Let's Play was complete with Twilight Princess. In terms of quality, the commentary went pretty well for a first go would normally go. Video quality, on the other hand, well, it was an MP4 player, whose purpose was for music, and this was before I got a smartphone. I really was behind in technology. I do remember having a couple video corruptions here in the process. The biggest one I could remember was the Arbiter's Ground entrance segment with the Bulblins, where I didn't catch the corruption until after I uploaded it to YouTube. Sadly, those videos were lost to time. In 2016 or so, this video would feel the wrath of Nintendo. In the 2010s, for those who do not remember, Nintendo was not very YouTube friendly, issuing copyright claims to their games left and right, especially with audio and some visual aspects. Not saying they are perfect now, far from. With this topic, will be revisited at a later point in time. However, I am pretty nostalgic about this Let's Play, gushing about a game I love. Maybe someday I will gush again, but who knows. However, during this time, I wasn't committed to Let's Plays like I am now. I was dabbling a little bit with some other project ideas I had, and the second big project that I undertook, that still sorta survives to this day, is the Sim 3 Death Challenge. I say sorta, but I enlisted the videos a few years ago, and YouTube made the change to private all unlisted videos made before 2017, so there goes all my videos. Oh well, I mean, you can probably still find it somewhere. The premise of the Death Challenge was simple. Contestants would go through a challenge, eat berries, follow a simple path, cook, etc., and whomever lost the challenge would end up dying. Done as a commentary on reality shows, and I was a sadist who found interesting how many ways you can kill the Sims. Season 1 was very samey, just follow a path, and in the fall returned with Season 2, which saw different challenges, a big improvement in both the series, which are limited in similar ways. Mostly I was a teen with very little editing skills, using Windows Movie Maker, broke playing Sims 3 using the default video record option to the game, playing unmodded with only one DLC installed. But with what little I had at the time, I think I did alright for the first round. The big thing about this challenge is to work on my video editing skills. No big explosions, no fancy transitions, just simple cut and edits. In between the sim death challenges, there was another project I undertook, one that would skyrocket my viewership and for the longest time dominate my most popular videos, even if the videos in question were terrible. Welcome to the top 649 Pokemon. During the 2013 era, there were some big number countdowns going on, and mind you, this was during the era of the peak countdown community time, which I followed a little more closely than the Let's Play community. And my take on all this was 649 Pokemon. The quality was absolutely terrible, just simple stills done in paint to talk about, mostly until the top 100 when things would be changed up a little bit. Mind you, 649 was because this was celebrating X and Y's release, and I didn't want to be spending months on end editing 649 entries. However, towards the top 100, I would decide to spice things up a little bit by being more comfortable with video editing, adding a lot more information onto my slides and everything, and even going to videos when I got to the top 10. Sure, much of the top 10 were legendaries, but I do love the mythos in my games. However, the quality of these videos left a sour taste in my mouth, and best left forgotten. After both the top 649 Pokemon and the Sims 3 Death Challenge Season 2, things would go on hiatus for a little bit, mostly because I prioritized school above Let's Play. However, though, come the winter time, I decided to return back to Let's Plays, and the next disaster in this early era is Minecraft, the first one. And if I were to be honest, this is probably my worst project, and the second is no better. Remember how during the early 2010s Minecraft was king? Well, I thought I would give it a go. One of the software I had on my Windows 7, which was bad, had a screen capture option, but something's better than nothing, so I recorded Minecraft on that. At least there's no unregistered hypercam 2 on that. Quality wasn't super terrible if you ignore the darkness and me using potato mic like most poor kids at the time, and having terrible anxiety at survival games, which I still have now. No, please, no, I don't wanna die! Yeah, I normally play on peaceful, and yeah, my anxiety got the better of me on several occasions, and this one is best left forgotten. Things would go dormant once again for a little bit until March, when I would release the sequel to Top 649 Pokemon, Top 69 Kalos Pokemon. This was way easier to rank 69 Pokemon compared to 649, and at the time I wanted to ignore the event mods since they were not released yet. Yeah, things didn't go well as the first time around. Footage of 3DS games are hard to come by, and way too expensive for my pay grade of broke. I followed my example from top 649 Pokemon by having numerous pictures fill each slot since it's a lot less Pokemon to go through, but quality expectations at the time were going up and people wanted video footage. While the first batch of videos had good ratio for the 649, Kalos, not so much. Then again, when having last place be the popular Pokemon breaks in, people might not take too kindly with that. I mean, I still don't like breaks in to this day. Throughout my first year of doing YouTube, there was something that was missing. It wasn't the creativity, instead it was more the hardware, since at the time I was just using whatever I could find. But in late April, a breakthrough happened that would really help steer my channel in a direction. And that was when I got my first capture card in Elgato. Sure, it isn't the super fancy ones I could record in 4K, but it was a basic one that can do standard definition games like the GameCube. So then began a journey I wanted to do a year prior, the return of XD Gale of Darkness. With a major upgrade to recording capabilities, not limited by a $20 audio device, the time to start Let's Playing went forth. As a Let's Play, I loved recording XD and was proud of the series. So much was probably my oldest work that didn't go private. The team was solid, with Grimmer the Trooper being, well, kind of the ongoing meme throughout the thing. The commentary was solid and played the game almost perfectly. Purifications were optimized, only had a few extra Mirror B fights. The boss fights were also really close, with the Ardos fight being one of the tightest to this day. And this day for a playthrough is probably the closest to perfect I could ask for. For real Let's Play number 3, it was super good. Sadly, this was where my high would end of Let's Playing, and things went really south thanks to a little company known as Nintendo. Come June, it was summertime, so it was time for another big Let's Play project. Something I really wanted to do since, at the time, there was nothing quite like it. I was planning to do a full Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles since it became my new favorite game in the previous year. The release date of the Let's Play intended on falling on June 14th. How do I remember this date so well? Well, as it turns out, this was the exact date that Chuck Connery would release his Xenoblade 1 Let's Play. However, my PC was starting to show its age, and doing a 100-part Let's Play wasn't going to cut it when it was cutting out an audio so much. Early on production, I ran into numerous desyncs and ended up scrapping the project. I wanted to give this project the full love that it needed to express my love for Xenoblade Chronicles. To at least compensate this, I actually streamed a speedrun of New Game Plus just to play through. Holy crap, this speedrun was hyper cringe. Saying the run was on world record pace when it was far from at the time. I had no idea about speedrunning scene at the time, and yeah, then I like to pretend this video didn't exist. The analytics, though, wouldn't. Until 2018, this video would end up becoming my most popular video for a long time. The biggest reason this got so many views was from Chugga's Let's Play. He gave the game a lot of attention, and then a few months later, Super Smash Bros. Revealed Shulk. After dealing with videos in the tens to maybe hundreds of views at the time, it certainly was an outlier. Maybe some other date, this video would be revisited. With things running at a high, it was only natural that things would crash down. That crash would come in a pair. If you look at my old videos, there was a gap in content. That would be because there was something there. Thus came the tragic fate of Darth Ocarina the Galaxy. Doing a dual Let's Play of Ocarina of Time and Super Mario Galaxy, three things came to be realized. One, I didn't like Ocarina all that much at the time, and the Fire Temple can rot in hell. So much so it caused me to rage and I paused recording until Galaxy was done. The second was that I liked Mario Galaxy more than I thought I would and had fun recording, even if the purpose of the Let's Play was that I suck at games. Holds true today. But the reason they don't exist is because of Nintendo. They were content ID claiming my videos left and right. There wasn't a day of no anxiety to be had. Whenever a new email appeared in my inbox, I would panic that a new video was claimed. Sure, I didn't make money at the time, still don't do now, but it was more of a sense of pride, a sense that I made this as to why I deleted it. The straw that broke the camel's back was when there were claims not from Nintendo appearing, instead from other random people. After this much stress for so long, I decided to axe this project, and wouldn't be the last that such a Let's Play would meet this fate. During the summer, I did do some other things on the side. The first was that I did a bit of streaming on Twitch. I don't remember what I did on my first Twitch channel. Deleted the first one mostly because I was an idiot at the time, and in a terrible headspace thanks to what was going on YouTube. And I was also wanting to break out of the Pokemon Lord part. People in streams I was in were thinking my name was Pikmin Lord. It wasn't for another 6 years I would reign over the Pikmin. A few bad things I remember from this was doing Mountain Battle in XD and playing Link to the Past blind. That was cringe. And on YouTube I tried doing some random one-off videos, doing Nostalgia reviewing Super Smash Bros. Melee and Real Fishing 2. Those reviews were okay but not great. There was a third one planned with Twisted Metal Small Brawl, but that ended up being scrapped. Get it? Scrapped? Like the cars? Okay, I'm done, I'll stop. I was in quite a funk at the time with everything failing. However though, I like playing Pokemon, so I'd end up playing Pokemon Leaf Green as my next Let's Play. The game meant a lot to me, and it was also approaching 10 years old. I like the number 10 it seems. And yeah, I like the content, the pacing, most everything went well except for one big reason. It was too damn loud! I must have hit the wrong button somewhere in the recording audio part, and set it to 100, and yeah, didn't notice it since I was listening to myself on the lowest volume, not mute. A lot of lessons were learned that series. However, though, the rest of the Let's Play went pretty well. Funnily enough, my final team changed from my original planned team. Mostly, I wanted to use Nidoking instead of Nidoqueen, but Nidoran male was super rare compared to female in Leaf Green, and instead of Starmie, I wanted to use Slowbro for, well, the similar reasons. Yeah, Starmie was a beast. A nice short Let's Play, mostly because I was borrowing a friend's Game Boy Advance player and I could play Leaf Green pretty much in my sleep. Good thing I'll blitz through recording, because the week after I finished recording the series, I had bronchitis for a month. Not a good time. While I did enjoy a break from deleting videos, it would return sadly with Okami. I did another Let's Play with Okami thinking Capcom was pretty chill. I was wrong, and they were still in the claiming market, but not as bad as Nintendo. I thought I would just leave it be, only the Kami Awakenings got claimed, but the Ryoshima Coast Purification cutscene got claimed and blocked and would not be distributed anywhere. The video wasn't published, and during the time Capcom was doing some dumb stuff that YouTube being very copyright strike happy, and that was the breaking point. So much so they were even wanting to strike down videos that even mentioned a certain game. So yeah, wanted to be safe, not wanting to have my entire YouTube channel deleted, I deleted the series, and good riddance. Sad because I like the series to an extent, but how naive I was. In terms of where the project went, I think in recording I went up until after the end of the second act, and in uploads I caught it at Ryoshima Awakening, which was roughly the halfway point or so of the game, so yeah, maybe someday on Twitch I'll finally get around to Let's Playing it. That would be if I ever get past the first area without getting bored. Returning back to my basics, I decided to try Minecraft once again, since at the time a new patch was released, and I was enjoying the vibe that Marilyn was producing with this series of Minecraft, and brought some nostalgia, so round 2. Fight! Same crap as before, just slightly more confident. Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! However, like the first, it was super cringe and best left forgotten. A couple things did come from this though. The first was that it upgraded from crappy screen capture to XSplit. XSplit sucked a lot of my 4GB RAM PC, but it got the job done at the very least. Yeah, during this time, things were pretty rough and would come to the next lost series to YouTube that I deleted thanks to Content ID, Portal. The deletion wouldn't come till sometime in 2017, I think. It was a long time ago. The series was mostly done as filler since I was on a holiday at the time, and something to fill in the gap until the next big Let's Play. Valve was generally alright with videos, had no issues with them. Their music company though decided to claim Portal music, and I didn't want to deal with any of the bullcrap. That was in 2014, so honestly the series was best left forgotten. After that mess senior year of high school, it was time to start preparing for college. I'd focus more on my college studies than my YouTube because I wasn't expecting to do YouTube for much longer. I had 3 months to record a year's worth of Let's Plays. Was it possible? Yep. That year was more short-form Let's Plays and Twitch stuff. I want to play Zelda games on Twitch for the next couple years, with a couple more YouTube relevant stuff in the background. During the Okami breakdown, there was a backup Let's Play produced, Sonic Unleashed. However though, had a video corruption, and just being unhappy at the time, so it went on hiatus. I thought the series was lost to time at the time, but nothing of value was lost. So I restarted Let's Playing the series, and ended up becoming my 10th Let's Play. It went well enough. I wish I had a better PC hardware, but beggars can't be choosers. Had fun replaying the series, chased a few fights, and was a step up compared to my previous projects. As for the bonus video I promised at the end of the project, my PS2 broke down, and honestly I wasn't in the mood to S-rank Eggman Land. Plus not wanting to incur the wrath of Sega, since a bonus scene for 100% completion might cause some issues with DreamWorks since the scene is similar in many ways to something in Kung Fu Panda. Mostly, screw Eggman Land. The second Let's Play to release in that year, the last recorded in the Summer Bash, I recorded everything very weirdly, was Pokemon Colosseum. I liked that Let's Play, however though, many didn't. I said I was playing pseudo-blind, but people thought true blind, and yeah. I like the pacing of the Let's Play, the team assembled, but the series saw the highest dislike ratio of any Let's Play, and that part kinda bummed me out, since of the Let's Plays of that year, Colosseum was my personal best. Though I would end up using the Pokeball glitch a lot in the late game, I got a lot of Pokemon first try with Colosseum, which is hard to do. Focusing back to the Twitch side of things, during the fall during my weekends away from school, I would play Terraria online and then upload the VODs onto YouTube because more videos the better, at least that was the thinking back in the day. I've come to absolutely despise the series. Bad mental health for the time for me, had no mic for the first couple of sessions, died way too much on the bosses, and was a general scrub at the game. And the episodes were divided into 15-minute sessions, which was absolutely poorly paced, and yeah, best left deleted, but I thought I'd just bring it up. But that wasn't the only thing I played on Twitch and uploaded to YouTube that fall. Also at the time, during 2015, there would be a little indie game that would hit the scene, known as Undertale. And oh boy, it hit the internet by storm. I decided for Halloween to play that game blind. Not Coliseum pseudo-blind, actual blind. And oh boy, it was a ride. But sadly I did die a lot on some of the late game bosses, and to finish the YouTube series, do the pacifist ending since I ended up doing some less than ideal things. Overall it was an okay let's play, I would think. Nothing special, but still alright. Back when I did a lot for Twitch, unlike now. And also on the gigantic fall batch came VVV, another series that best left forgotten to time. Bad mic, filler let's play, nothing of significance, and really the only thing of value during that was doing the hardest challenge in like 6 attempts, which given the game's difficulty, I will take. The game can be beat in an hour and 2, so naturally it would be super short. One of the few Let's Plays that actually featured less than 10-minute videos, a very fast-paced Let's Play, and honestly, given everything with that Let's Play, another one that I kind of like to leave unlisted. After all those short-form Let's Plays, it was time for a big undertaking, a series that I grew to dislike as time went on, The Last Story. During my Xenoblade speedrun, that was my top video at the time, I thought I would continue the Operation Rainfall trend with The Last Story. I never played the game before, and knew next to nothing, and at the time I had still yet to play a single Final Fantasy game, so something new to play. The commentary I feel very embarrassed about, picking way too much up on the accents and over time think it aged absolutely terribly. I mean, to this day I do spell things with an OU, say bugger a lot, and yeah. As for the commentary itself, besides the accent thing, I also am not a big fan of it, mostly because, given the number of cutscenes that play throughout the game, trying to talk over them really isn't my suit, and given the talking ratio to the playing ratio, it didn't really blend itself too well. It ended up post-commentating the entire thing. Oh well, maybe I was thinking of escaping the crap USA at the time. During my time in college, I started to amass money to help with the Let's Play cause and also pay out a little bit of the college debt. And one investment I would make is a DS capture card, mostly because the 3DS capture card costed a lot back then and were pretty hard to find. And plus I also wanted to do quite a few DS games. The 2016-2017 era I would enjoy making the Let's Plays, but IRL me, this was when things would begin to really fall apart. But before the series were released, Nintendo decided to strike back and had to delete the Twilight Princess Let's Play. Yeah, it was very dated, and I would end up doing a stream playthrough on Twitch. It was sad but expected with Twilight Princess HD's release. Also during the time I did update my mic from potato to less potato. So the first thing on the list for the year would actually be No Man's Fail. I was looking through my old update videos to see what happened during those years, and I remembered I tried doing a day 1 No Man's Sky Let's Play. Oh, my sweet summer child. I got bored after the first hour, uploaded a few videos to YouTube, big oof. And I guess in the summer I did do a random countdown, top 10 favorite bosses. Didn't do too well compared to my usual content, so I kind of abandoned countdowns compared to my normal Let's Plays. My first Let's Play during this year was also when my quality really began to improve, and it really shows. Pokemon Platinum until the 2020s I would argue was my best Let's Play. It had great commentary for my standards, and plus I had a lot of fun recording this project. The team was super solid and just a general great experience. I especially love how Star Fury just destroyed a lot of things, Metronome was a whole lot of fun, and nothing too bad a note with the project. It was the poster child of what great projects should be and what I should strive for. However, not everything was perfect. and after I finished the main story of the game, I had surgery for my wisdom tooth and developed bronchitis once again and lasted yet another month. I didn't have time to recover before wrapping up recording for the summer, so I had to tough it out during the last few weeks, so a lot of beware of coughing and all that fun stuff. And as you can tell, I wasn't really that healthy for this or heart gold, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Much like the previous year, I thought I could bolster my episode count to help my upload schedule since I wasn't recording too much during that year, with doing a repeat of Terraria, this time with Stardew Valley. The overall project of Stardew went infinitely better, then again, any number is technically infinitely more than 0. The numbers were better cut at the end of the day instead of being 15 minutes later, the overall commentary was a little bit better, and plus, I genuinely knew what I was doing, and what I was going for. The downside is that the game gets pretty boring when recorded, and it's much more suited as a live stream game. And I guess another project I wanted to do at the time for winter break was Skyrim, but this time my PC was going out, so old faithful, but starting to go out. Come late November, early December, I was still in the high of doing Pokemon Platinum and just having so much fun, I decided to follow up with Pokemon Heart Gold. Heart Gold was intended to be released in the following year, starting in January, however though, I was still on that high. Was the project rushed? Probably. Did I care? No. The project went well enough, but it didn't have the magic that Platinum had. Sure, it had its moments though, and looking back, it definitely did have a few of its highlights, including randomly the post-game video doing a little successful. However, there's one little detail that's not well known, and that is because I did a lot of the training for the game on a different cartridge, just because grinding in Gen 4 is genuinely terrible. And this also played true for Pokemon Platinum, just because also Elite Four scaling is a little absurd. Overall, I didn't like Heart Gold as much as Platinum as a game. That also kind of lends to why I didn't like the Let's Play all too much, but still had a whole lot of fun. In the IRL side of things though, my life was falling apart. My mental health was garbage, I was doubting my future, and Let's Playing was basically my only refuge. And summer was coming again when I didn't do much the year prior. I hope things would end better for my second half of college. Things didn't go well for my second half of college. In fact, things went to shit. So much shit, it dreads over me to this very day, and my mental health was at a dangerous point, especially after the next Let's Play was fully recorded, and I was going back to school. There were two catalysts that really led to this despair. The first was struggling with a couple important classes in college that was taught terribly, and the other was a little game known as Overwatch. I got super competitive in Overwatch, but instead of adding to the toxicity of blaming the thrower, instead I would do the unhealthy thing and constantly blame myself. I did a little series of mini videos of me sucking at Overwatch, bit for a joke and laugh, and the other to make fun of myself. It was a terrible addiction, a self-feeding Ouroboros that would end up leading to long nights of binge playing, and yeah, 2017 into 2018 was when it was the worst for me. It was a poison, a contagion I wished to be free from, but it took until 2019 to finally exhale it. You can tell I was listening to a lot of Tool when writing this, but in the meantime, I decided to do some stuff online, heading back to the recording studio. Back in 2014, I tried doing Xenoblade Chronicles for a Let's Play, but technology wasn't in my favor. Well, 3 years later, two capture cards, one semi-beefy upgrade up to 8GB RAM, no Wii U, and Xenoblade 2 was on the horizon, it was a good time to give Xenoblade 1 another go. I was way more knowledgeable of the game, more experienced, and I had done some speedruns on my 3DS on my free time, so I knew exactly what was going on, compared to the first one, where I died onto the spider boss. Overall, the project was very strong. It was a very long project for sure, excluding the stream series beating my longest Let's Play by over 20 episodes. The biggest regret about the series was again the hardware side of things. I didn't have a Wii U, just a regular Wii. I didn't want to buy one when the Switch just came out, saved up my money for that instead. To make do, I just used composite to HDMI adapter since my capture card at the time was HDMI only. Problem? Amazon is a crappy and terrible company, and the capture card I ended up getting was off-center. I wasn't happy, but given poor college student status, I couldn't help it. Went through, beat the super bosses for the first time in my life, showed that Charlotte isn't worthless, and bolstered my Xenoblade base and knowledge in general. However, given its very long length, it was my only Let's Play for that year, and there was another long gap in projects until summer. As to why, there was another Let's Play planned, but again, my old favorite friend Content ID, this claim, managed to take out that series. This time, blocking Pokemon Black's intro from playing. Pokemon Black as a Let's Play was a very weird one. It would have been an alright Let's Play if it weren't for two small details. The first again was the Content ID stuff, where it was blocked from showing because of the opening cutscene. It wouldn't have been a big deal since I could have cut that out, but Black's opening is particularly important for the overall story. The other problem was that an audio cable on my mic decided to broke and destroy the audio. When exactly did this happen? During the final boss fight! Yeah, those combined made me hate the series. So where did it go and why am I including it? Well, actually, it is included on my Twitch channel. The last Let's Play on the old mic, and going into the post-game was when I got my semi-current mic. The gameplay was alright, I was constantly making fun of the semi-line, and when a ton was able to beat a Simipour. But the issues that plagued it, I just pretended it didn't really exist, but it's still there if you want to watch it, just have to do a little bit of digging onto a less than great platform. And the culmination of all things terrible, Pokemon Black 2. Done better than Pokemon Black, I improved my setup, and also cut out the introductory cutscene. However though, my mental health was slipping even further, and everything snapped here. For the quality, it was high. A lot went into it, and it was meant to be my last hurrah. My last Let's Play before I graduated college and went full on with IRL stuff. Black 2 was full of content. It was super fun to show off everything from Joint Avenue to the Yancy side quest and the rare nature preserve stuff. And for those, I felt this Let's Play was going to be peak, but that was just the surface layer. I had a soft challenge for myself to trying to get growth on my channel after years of stagnation, and this series was my best bet. The other part of me was expecting the series to fail. My channel was at its worst. Growth was fully stagnant. My worst year ever recording and uploading. Everything was going nowhere. I was hoping to get internships for that summer. They were all turned away. My future was looking bleak, and I was just trying to seek a way out. And while recording, the game kept kicking me when I was down. My luck stat was negative, kept on getting crit, missing important attacks, Murphy's Law in full force. That year, I was planning on having that Let's Play my last Let's Play, one way or another. My despair was at full force. Nothing succeeded, and come early December, I was just done and about to give up on everything. Until I was watching the Game Awards on a cold December 6th night, out of boredom before finals started for the semester, and got super hyped by the Joker reveal, so much so the next day, I impulse bought Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I didn't care enough for the game. Fighting games aren't my thing. They don't really jibe, and after Overwatch destroying my self-esteem, I really wasn't in the mood to get another mentally destroying game. And in hindsight, I shouldn't have gotten it. But I did. And not too long after release of the game, a glitch was discovered where Isabelle could summon infinite assist trophies. So I decided out of boredom to make a video showcasing all the infinite spawns. And what would happen changed everything of the channel overnight. Overnight, my views went from 0 to 10,000, destroying all my other records for video counts in just a matter of days. I did do research and it seemed like my video was posted on a website in Hong Kong. I know views shouldn't be a matter to focus on, but the views wasn't the thing the video gave. It was hope that reignited the channel. While not obvious at first glance since low college, it would inspire me to continue YouTube, give me something to believe in again, not focusing on success, but rather on fun. And this would begin something the channel had not seen since the first couple of years. Growth. Videos would tend to do better, and Lovebird's Call from the Black 2 Let's Play, a random ass video that I thought would end up doing nothing, ended up becoming my most popular video by a long shot. And more or less applied to a few videos thanks to basically when I didn't beat myself up. This would continue into ukulele. Previously, Let's Plays were focused on algorithm favorite games, see Pokemon, Xenoblade. However though, ukulele, It was disposed of in a few weeks for not being Banjo-Kazooie, and from here, I decided to focus on fun. Going into ukulele, I didn't know what to expect. What inspired me to retry Let's Plays and to keep going was Masayanella's Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play, Just Having Fun, and that sort of clicked for me. Just having fun. Sure, the game is very niche, not my normal RPG setup, but deep down I do like collectathons. Except this was my first true collectathon, and ukulele was fun to record. Started recording spring break and it sort of flowed back into me. However, much like the previous past 3 years of life loved to kick me, and actually my recording failed. During the final part of the game and the final boss in the final world. I didn't notice it at first, but yeah, that was rough. I intended the game to be the first time I beat ukulele since I got walled by the final boss my first playthrough, and also walled at 100% completion because lol glitches. Yeah, no catching break, but instead of kicking in the towel, I decided to keep going. I sat down and I actually sped ran the entire game to get to the quiz, and on my first file since the glitch, was able to get the remaining stuff that was lost and showcase the final boss. Mess behind the screens, but pretty fun up front. And from there, I kept the gravy train rolling. Next on Inspired Let's Plays was Pikmin. The reason why I did Pikmin was to test the waters, since around this time, Nintendo relaxed their YouTube policy. Foreign music. Time to try my hand once again, and I will be honest, that series was too inspired by other Pikmin Let's Plays, and it was a semi-blind playing in the final world since I had a rough patch. All things considered, the series went okay enough, I would think, and I knew full well about Smokey Prog despite me trying to play coy, just to add drama. However, though, IRL things weren't really so hot as I had graduated college, and finding a job in a major was not easy because, well, it turns out you need a master's degree and my mentality was not ready for another beating in college. In come late summer, I felt it was time to put my DS capture card to rest with one final Let's Play, Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. Overall, the quality of the project went well enough, I think. However, though, it was recorded on my Windows 7, which had the software for my DS capture card since 7 and 10 are different beasts. I didn't intend the series to go all out or anything, and lo and behold, what happened to the finale! I know that the download missions are hard to find on YouTube, but I didn't think it would do this well. But at this point, I knew not to question the algorithm, spin the 100-sided dice and hope a video release hits a lucky spot, I guess. The rest of the Let's Play went okay enough, I think. The side quests were pretty fun to record. Sure, things went pretty easy, but then again, Guardian Signs, if you know what you're doing, is an easy game. But overall, something I had fun with, and after this, my Windows 7 finally bit the dust, and my DS capture would basically lay dormant until now. And to wrap up this resurrection of the channel, mostly because between jobs I had a bit of free time, I thought I would play a game that I liked and it would be fun to 100% Let's Play, and that would be Metroid Prime. Going in, I wasn't expecting to get every scan because it's super hard to do with missables, but somehow I did it. Overall, that series was the one I had the most fun playing, mostly because exploration-focused Metroidvanias are my game of preference. I didn't know how to speedrun, just have fun. I only vaguely knew some of the speedrun strats for quick boss kills. However, at this point, my channel and what I would be best known for would begin to transition, with coming up next probably being my biggest undertaking and one of the most ambitious playthroughs on the internet at the time, and to this day one of my best Let's Plays, but was starting as something bigger. During the fall of 2019, I was vibing to YouTube after a long day of work and decided to listen to the credits theme of Xenoblade 2, and the final bit of the song was what inspired me to Let's Play the game. It was a monumental task, a hurdle set way too high, but I'm a masochist, so why not? That end goal, that final relief of it's all done, that was my goal, and the drive to keep on pushing forward. The project would end up going for a full year with a lot of twists and turns. For the execution side of things, it was pretty good all things considered, except I didn't know the speedrun strats at the start of the game, so I was fumbling around quite a bit, but still having fun. It was December, I basically quit my job at the time because it was constant backstabbing, and my mental health was starting to take its toll. Then I would look for work come March since winter business is slow. Oh, how naive I was at the time. Well, more free time on my hands, I would sit down and do long recording sessions, and basically I recorded the entire series within 3 months or so. All the while I was still a noob starting recording, not really knowing fusion combos correctly, and the game-breaking blades, but I was focusing on non-DLC stuff at the time, and wanted to do DLC towards the bonus video content. Still not for sure how I managed to get Bearing Your Soul done in Chapter 5, but somehow I managed. When it was time to do New Game Plus content, all this was recorded after the Torna Let's Play. I decided to double my hand at speedrunning strats, just to be thorough like most series, like zombie hovering and other fun little details with New Game Plus. The day I did the death code the first time, my soul was sold to the speedrunning. But other than that, it was a fun Let's Play, but that was only one half of the cookie. The other half came with Torna the Golden Country. I will be honest, 2020 took its toll on me. This was before I joined the speedrunning Discord, since a little too much free time, and yeah. Throughout the entire Let's Play, I was fake smiling. Deep down, I was pretty hurting. I struggled a lot during the gargoyle fights so much, I had a mental breakdown during it, and when I went to re-record that segment, I dropped the difficulty down to easy for basically the rest of the Let's Play until the final boss, just so I wouldn't be hurting as much as I was, to ease the pain a little bit. It's a pretty well known secret, not much really is known about it, but then again, it's a relatively lesser known Let's Play in my repertoire. And remember how I said the first Xenoblade Let's Play fell on the same date as Chugga Conroy's Xenoblade 1 Let's Play? Well, and some of the footage and general messing around would end up helping Chugga's Let's Play also between both Let's Plays, just because I found or did some speedrunning footage after I finished production, and finding some lesser known things that not many know about, like the elevator and the Bonnet cutscene. But generally just to help one another, which is something my channel has always been focusing on, helping others. And then Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition would come out in late May of 2020, and at that time I decided to speedrun Definitive Edition, since I did dabble a bit in the 3DS version for speedrunning. And a glitch was discovered, and like last time a glitch was discovered, I decided to make a crappy video about it. This one was worse in my eyes, but the internet liked it more. So much more! In a single day or two it became my #1 video, and would sit there for a long time. That was my binding spell. That summer I partook in speedrunning Xenoblade, the full series bar an X. 2020 I focused on the New Game Plus runs for Definitive Edition and 2, eventually getting pretty good ranking times in each. Then came wintertime, I dabbled a bit in the Glitch New Game Plus category that recently was released, because the glitch was discovered that lets any arts be on any character within limits, and led to some cursed results. So I partook in that, and as for 2021, I focused hardcore on Hundo. In February of 2021, I decided to become insane and 100% speedrun Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Don't do it, please! It was multi-segment because I have a hard time being in front of a screen for more than 3 hours at a time, so imagine a 40-hour speedrun. Yeah, and then in March I did Xenoblade Definitive Edition 100%, and in the summer I rerouted Future Connected and held the world record for a few months in the 100% category casual, and then also trying Torna before the tendinitis glitch beat me up. Also during that summer, I decided to route and run New Game Plus 100% of both 2 and Definitive Edition, and those were fun and my cup of tea. Especially for 2 because screw Merc missions. As for the remainder of that year, I wrapped up my 2021, partaking in my first and only charity marathon, Questing for Glory, with it being the show opener of the event with Definitive Edition Glitch. It was a lot of fun and something I missed. The next couple of months I would optimize Glitchless Casual before hanging up my controller until 3. And wrapping up my Xenoblade projects for the time being, since we are pretty close to the present, literally 2 weeks after Xenoblade 3 release, I decided to route Xenoblade 3 100%. Bad in hindsight? Yes. In fact, just 2 days after recording my speedrun, Chakra Ring strats were discovered, and that would have helped a lot in recording, but meh. All about that cloud, I guess. I guess all about that cloud getting high times was kind of what killed my interest in speedrunning, because basically around that time, and I guess even now, just that expectations of getting high times on myself, getting like #1, 2, 3, but then failing in speedruns, getting bad RNG and everything, all that stuff kind of beat me up, and I kind of stepped back from speedrunning. I do miss it, but at the same time, not really. Speedrunning will always be there for me if I ever go back, but for that, I need to be in a lot higher spirits. And speaking of live streams, I was streaming my Xenoblade speedruns on Twitch, and from that and a lot of free time, I managed to get the affiliate status. As soon as I got affiliate, I ended up not streaming as much, but it's something cool, I guess. But when I stopped streaming speedruns, my Twitch kind of fell with it, since I feel streams get too lonely without a lot of support, or it can get away with hyper-focusing on a game, and my Twitch channel felt too attached to speedrunning to try other things. When I tried playing Pokemon, I tried doing other challenges. All those times, the chat just got lonely, I ended up getting bored and everything like that. Just felt like the only thing my Twitch channel was for was speedruns, and since I'm on a long hiatus from speedrunning, my channel kind of fell into hiatus, but maybe someday I'll get back into it, don't know. But whenever that is, hopefully Twitch is a lot less crappy of a website. That is the impossible part. Rewinding a little bit back to 2020 and 2021, my videos and livestream were so diluted by the dark side of breaking things. When I play games, I get more dopamine breaking things than game balance, so instead of playing things legit, I decided to embrace the cheese, which is where the modern era begins. Even though my content was very Xenoblade focused, I'm a Let's Player at heart, and I thought I would have a collecting good time since I enjoy Mario Odyssey so much, and things were pretty bleak for me in early 2021. Thanks, Macaroni. Mario Odyssey, I would say, is probably the most fun I had playing a game in a long time. It's just a fun to record, fail, and just break open. It's a game all about the journey. I felt it was a fun time trying to do some of the speed strats, and just alternative ways to break levels, and a couple glitches here and there to help choose some of the hardest moves in the game. Overall, it was a Let's Play that I had a lot of fun recording, and the pacing of the game is something I couldn't ask even better for. Just because I went through, I kind of routed all the moons, how to get them in order and all that fun stuff, and it was generally fun to record. As for the Luigi bonus video, I don't know, maybe someday. Gotta buy all the costumes first. This game is something I love watching speedruns from the 100% to darker side. Pacing was perfect. I don't think I could have asked for a better Let's Play, all things considered. I will say the only downside about the Let's Play was that during the second half things were becoming a little more bleak for me, just because COVID was getting off and still struggling to find a job, but eventually I would find one and things would pick up from there a little bit. Just a little. From this point, I thought it would be cool to continue to break games by following up with The Wind Waker. My mission with The Wind Waker was simple. Try to execute the stuff I watched a bit in randomizers to the game, but not too breaky since I don't feel like barrier skip. Wind Waker is a game I do like, but never played the HD version before, so why not? And I decided to try the Metroid Prime Scan challenge again, this time collecting all the pictographs, which is something I'm proud of for doing since it's definitely difficult to do all things considered, considering all the missable things that are in the game. Recommended? Don't do it. But yeah. I mean, the game itself is pretty easy, and honestly I cheesed bosses a little way too much, and I didn't showcase all the fun glitches that are in the game since the game is basically held together by Macaroni, but overall it was a fun Let's Play to do, a nice little Let's Play before the next larger Let's Play. And oh boy was it large. And to wrap up 2021, it was a good time to return back to Pokemon for the first time in a little bit, with Pokemon Sword. That series was fun to route and play through, mostly because you can heavily outlevel yourself pretty easily, and even with two different teams, my primary A team with weaker mons, and B being the overpowered mons that could break the game by themselves. I had a fun time recording the Let's Play, and I would get excited when I record again. Editing me crying in a corner in fear of condescending down a 90-minute video because of bios and battles. During that Let's Play, I decided to update my visual style of things with incorporating bios and overall stills with boss battles also to show what is exactly going on with the opponent's teams. I just read the day I decided to do Pokemon again, especially open world. And as the series was ending production, of course another Pokemon game came out, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and of course to follow up on the success of my other hype videos, I would make a video on farming Heracross just because. Not so much as a helpful thing in hindsight, but rather something to feed the algorithm, and would be seen later in the year with the SideQuest video for Xenoblade 3. I know how to make the algorithm happy, but these videos aren't the things that really that I enjoy making, rather than more niche Let's Plays. Following up with such a monumental task with Pokemon, I felt it would have been nice to relax with a paper-like game, with Bug Fables. Yeah, Xenoblade 3 moving up kinda screwed up the schedule, so instead of Bug Fables, Future Connected was moved first. FC as a game, I don't really care for too much, but as a speedrunning game, it was something I absolutely enjoy. More than 2, more than the Definitive Edition, and there's no New Game Plus category in Future Connected. Mostly because I love the 100% route. It was something that I spent a lot of time on, optimized it quite a bit, and the future runners would end up optimizing it a little bit further, but overall something I'm very happy with. As for the Let's Play itself, not really too happy that I spent half the game in casual mode, but at that point, it was muscle memory and all that fun stuff. Overall, Future Connected is a game I don't really care for all too much, mostly because the game was not balanced around the stuff going away and all that stuff. Seriously, if you ever want to get into RPG speedruns, Future Connected is the way to go. 100% to chill time, with any percent being the fast category. And now we arrive at the most recent Let's Play, Bug Fables. I intended the series to go up in August/September that year, but ooh, shiny came first, and then 100%ing that game, and 100% speedrunning that game, and depression reared its ugly head again. Yeah, my health during that time slipped, and come fall, it was definitely not great, but Bug Fables was definitely a highlight for the fall. Sure, I did use overpowered strats a little too much, and that has kind of became my new brand. How to choose games, not how to play fair. Back to lovely timing once again, as the series was delayed so much that Chugga started Paper Mario around the same time I started recording the game, so I am impeccable with timing. But overall, I'm done playing fair. Playing fair has gotten me nowhere in the past 10 years, now I just have to do things my way. In the end, Let's Plays should be about having fun, and a bonus to teach new things. Looking back at this previous decade, things sure had their ups and downs. Though it is very discouraging to see those who can start up a channel out of the blue reach partnership level within a few months, meanwhile, I took the long and slow road. But overall, I'm happier doing things my own instead of following the trends. I picked up a lot of skills along the way, and learned some things about myself. I met so many wonderful people, played games I probably would have never played, such as Xenoblade, and all that fun stuff. A large part of me wonders what life would have been if I had not gone down the YouTube road. But you know, that is another universe's me problem to deal with. This is the path I chose, so I will stick to this as long as I can. For those who are wanting to get into YouTube, my advice is simple. Do what you want to do. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on a top dollar mic, taking a 4-year course on video editing, just start doing it. Everyone has to start somewhere, and building on skills will help out in the long term. Even if you have to point a $20 MP4 player at a TV, or you get smartphones as these kids have it way better, just sit down, just start doing it, and have fun. This has been Orpheolus, and thank you all so much for sticking around after all these years. I know this video has gone on way longer than it should. I like to ramble and have fun and all that fun stuff. As for what the future has in store, I already know at least what the next couple projects I have in mind. And tomorrow, a new Let's Play will begin. As for what it is, back to where it all began. I love a good bookends. I'll see you all tomorrow for a remake of my first Let's Play, Twilight Princess HD. This has been Orpheolus, and I'll see you all in the next one.